This video is for Year 8 for the week beginning the 22nd of June. This is your lesson 4. So today's lesson we're going to be looking at how did factories improve. We're going to compare different types of attitudes towards the factories. So we're going to see kind of like the traditional view of someone that wasn't particularly a very good factory owner, and then compare him to someone that actually brought in a far better type of factory to make it clearly far better for his workers. Then we're going to explain obviously the reasons for these changes and then judge the reasons for the changes, try and see if you can find one reason that was more important than the others. So first things first, you've got your starter and you need to think about what you learnt last lesson. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little questions to answer. Now you can obviously kind of like shorten these as such, so you could put like smell and then put a word, noise, right, treatment, accidents, deform, reasons for deformity, age, why child workers or why children, and then kind of like inside. So you can shorten these, all right, so make it a little bit easier for yourself. So that's your first task. Like I said, think about what you learnt last lesson. Then we've got, again, thinking about what we learnt last lesson. So we're asking you to think, from the point of view of a typical kind of like traditional factory owner, someone called Robert Hardwick. And we'd like you to write a sentence explaining what a typical factory owner would have been like. All right, what do you think he really wants? What do you think he's thinking about? What do you think he's going to do? All right, how much do you think he's going to care about his workers? So you've got a little starter sentence there to help you. A typical factory owner like Robert Hardwick would want. All right, so come up with some little suggestions. The reason for doing that is because we're going to compare him to someone called Robert Owen. All right, so we've got a little bit of a YouTube clip to watch about Robert Owen. All right, and we'd like you to obviously make a few little notes. All right, so you've got one to start you off there. He wanted to create a pocket of utopia. Utopia means a place where things are perfect. So clearly he already sounds like a far better, kinder, more caring factory owner. All right, so that's that task. Now, again, have a little look at this picture here. All right, this is source 1. Have a look what's happening here. Have a look what's on the walls. Have a look even what's on the walls over here as well. So again, this is inside of a factory. Well, it doesn't look anything like you looked at last lesson. So nice, easy. How is this different to what we've seen before? And then we've got a challenge. And again, good for lots of you to keep using those challenge. I know plenty of my students are using those, so let's do the same. How useful would this source be for an historian studying the improvements made to factories? Don't forget, when you're looking at useful, you want to be picking out things that clearly are useful in the source. So what can you see? So therefore it's useful. Again, if you're not sure about what to do, look at the support slide, lots of help there. All right, so use that as well. Right, then the next bit, again, we're going to keep looking at Robert Owen, so you've got another source to look at this time. All right, answer these questions. How did Robert Owen improve the lives of his workers? Why do you think he did this? So read the information through. All right. A little bit of a hint in terms of why you think he does this. Have a little look down here. Why would you have to be cautious? So again, perhaps a little bit suspect as such, relying on this evidence. All right, so try and think about why perhaps it's not telling 100% of the truth as such. Again, support slide, stuff there to help you. Then we've got the next bit of evidence, this time source 3. Again, read the information that's here. What did Robert Owen find when he first acquired his factory? So when he first bought his factory, what was there? It's pretty shocking. Then challenge. Do you agree with the decisions Robert Owen made when he first acquired his factory? So do you agree with obviously what he then did? Again, support slide to help you. Then to create a publicity leaflet. So think about obviously the fact that what Robert Owen has now done. How is his method so much better than what we've seen before? So talk about obviously again the changes that can be made, refer to what you've seen, the benefits of those changes, and how he can win people over, because there are going to be a lot of factory owners that actually didn't want to introduce these changes. So you've got to try and charm the factory owners. Right? They perhaps initially won't want to spend a lot of money, but it's all about long-term kind of like investment. Have a little think about that. And then plenary, so end of this lesson, explain to future generations why they should be like Robert Owen and not like Robert Hardwick. So why be like Owen, one little sentence, why be less like Robert Hardwick, one little sentence. All right, so that's the end of lesson 4.